Welcome to the deep dive. Ever wondered how really disciplined business ideas might actually link up with some deep spiritual paths? Well, today, that's what we're exploring.
That's right. We're digging into reflections on the Scroll 2 from the greatest salesman in the world.
Yeah, and this source material, it doesn't just talk vaguely about appreciating people. It offers a specific method for love, almost like a technique.
Exactly. And we're going to follow that thread, that methodology, all the way to a pretty big idea about, well, our collective human destiny.
Okay, so the mission today, it sounds like we're turning love, which can feel abstract, into something, I don't know, almost mechanical, actionable, anyway.
Actionable is the key word. We start with a really structured technique for valuing others. You see this pop up in sales training, leadership stuff.
Like John Maxwell's work, right?
Yeah.
The source draws on that thinking.
Precisely. It's relevant there, but also just in everyday life. And then, yeah, we'll connect those specific steps to these much bigger ideas about human potential as a species even.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Starting concrete, with this step-by-step technique for valuing people. It's central to the whole idea of cultivating relationships, encouraging goodness.
It really is. And it's systematic. The source emphasizes this method, drawing on experts like Maxwell, as you said. It's less about just feeling warm and fuzzy.
More about applied action.
Yeah. So when we talk about valuing here, think of it as a six-part exercise, almost a formula you practice systematically on someone you choose.
6 parts.
Okay.
And it starts with observation, deep observation.
Yes. Step 1 is basically identification. You have to really look and pinpoint a specific inherent value they possess.
Okay, so not just they're great, but something specific. The example often used is loyalty, right? Let's stick with that.
Perfect example, loyalty. So you identify it, that's step 1. Then step 2, once you've named it their loyalty, you actively think about ways you can actually add to that value.
Add to it. That sounds a bit intangible. How do you add to loyalty? Is it just like giving a compliment?
It's more active than just a compliment, though compliments can be part of it later. Step 3 is where it really moves into communication. You actively talk about their value to others. So if you see their loyalty, you find opportunities to mention how loyal they are when talking to other people.
Oh, interesting. So it's like external validation, reinforcing it in the group mind, maybe?
Precisely. It provides that external validation, and it reinforces the value and the collective awareness around that person. They might not even hear it directly at first.
That makes sense. It shapes the environment. But let me push on this a bit. This sounds effective in, say, a workplace, building trust with a client or a team member. But how do you apply this really structured step-by-step thing in a more intimate setting, like with family? Doesn't it risk feeling a bit calculated or even manipulative?
That's a really important question, and I think the key is the intent. If the underlying intent is genuinely love and appreciation, then this structure just becomes a tool.
A tool to make sure you actually do it, not just think it.
Exactly. It stops appreciation from just being a silent thought. It ensures expression. And step 4 actually speaks directly to your point through action.
Okay, what's step 4?
You look for practical ways to add to the value. This often means giving them responsibilities or opportunities that specifically require or reward that quality. So for loyalty, tasks that really lean on their dependability.
Okay. So you're creating situations where they can exercise that quality.
Yeah.
And strengthen it. If you valued their patience, maybe you'd find tasks where patience is crucial.
Exactly. And then you acknowledge it afterwards. You're actively helping them grow that positive trait.
So you're sort of nurturing it.
Nurturing it, strengthening it, yes. Then the last 2 steps kind of close the loop. Step 5 is acting in ways that highlight their value directly to them, making sure they know you see it, you rely on it.
So direct acknowledgement now.
And finally, step 6. Encourage other people to appreciate that value too. Bring others into recognizing and valuing it. This whole cycle, this systematic process, the source presents it as the definition of applied love, actively cultivating the best in people.
You know, this really highlights that valuing isn't just about the other person. It's also about the work you have to do on yourself to even see that value clearly.
Oh, absolutely. And that connects to the next layer. This whole practice demands, rigorous self-honesty. You have to apply this exact same 6-part process internally to yourself.
So self-love, but using the same structured approach.
Yes. How do you notice and value things about yourself? Identify a strength, think how to add to it, talk positively to yourself about it.
Using good self-talk, as the source puts it.
Exactly. Encouraging yourself to keep moving along the path of those positive values you see in yourself.
That really clicks. If you're secure in valuing yourself properly, you're probably less likely to project your own stuff, your insecurities, onto others.
Right. And it naturally leads into how we communicate, especially when there's disagreement.
Okay, yeah, this is where it gets really interesting, moving from internal valuing to handling different viewpoints. The source talks about the steelman approach.
The steelman. It's such a powerful concept for dialogue. It's basically about aiming for mutual understanding rooted in deep respect.
So when you're in a discussion, maybe a difficult one, your main goal isn't to win.
No, not at all. Your primary goal is to understand the other person's perspective so thoroughly, so completely, that they feel totally, utterly heard.
We all know the straw man fallacy, right? Where you twist someone's argument to make it easy to attack. The steel man is the absolute opposite. You try to build their argument up into its strongest, most reasonable, most respectable form. You articulate it even better than they did, perhaps.
Yes, that's the goal. It takes serious mental effort. Empathy. You have to genuinely try to see the world from their viewpoint.
And the benefit.
The psychological payoff is huge. Once someone feels truly deeply heard, like you've genuinely got their point of view, the source says they become very apt to listen and listen deeply readily when it's your turn.
It disarms them. Because you've already shown them that respect. You've valued their perspective first.
Exactly. You've built a bridge instead of a wall.
Okay, so we've got this mechanical practice of valuing others, the internal work of self-valuing, and the steelman communication approach. Let's zoom out now. The source suggests the ultimate aim here is learning to love humanness itself.
That's the big picture, yes. Loving whatever a person is experiencing, however they might be behaving in that moment, accepting the whole package, you could say.
That sounds incredibly difficult, a high bar.
It is a high bar. The destination is described as divine humanship, which means developing the ability to see and, importantly, honor the divinity within every single person, regardless of their temporary state or actions.
So it's a practice precisely because it's hard, because humans are messy and complex, and seeing the divine spark takes constant conscious effort.
That's it, exactly. It requires practice.
And the embodiment of this practice, the source introduces it using the term namaste. We hear it often at the end of a yoga class. But its core meaning is profound. I honor the divine in you.
Correct. And the source argues we need to move that from just a nice idea or a polite gesture into actualization, into a lived reality.
Not just saying the words, but actively doing the recognition, a required state of being almost.
Yes. And this need for actualization, for making it real, leads directly into a very specific personal practice the source details. It's designed to help embody this love. It's called the soul kernel.
Soul kernel, yeah. Okay, this sounds like where we might get into some more specialized concepts.
It does involve some specific meditative techniques, yes. It's presented as a way to link your individual effort directly to the universal.
All right, walk us through it simply. There's mention of the dantian and a six-pointed star. What are those about?
Okay, let's break it down. The dantian. Think of it simply as your body's center of gravity. Physically, it's usually located about 2 inches below your navel. In many traditions, it's seen as an energetic center, a powerhouse.
Okay, a central point in the body. Got it.
So the first step of the soul kernel practice is just bringing your awareness, your mind's attention to that center point and connecting it with your pulse, feeling the rhythm of life there.
So anchoring your focus physically, linking it to your own life beat.
Exactly. Just centering and feeling that pulse. Once you're anchored there, then a visualization comes in. The practitioner imagines moving their attention around the points, or the sides, of a 6-pointed star located within that dantian, that energy center.
A 6-pointed star, like a Star of David. Why that shape?
It's a symbol used across many traditions, often representing the connection or balance between, say, the spiritual and the material, the above and the below. Here, it's a geometric focus point within that center.
Okay, a visualization tool. Is there anything else? A sound or intention?
Yes. While doing this internal movement, visualizing the star, the practitioner internally chants a specific mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum.
That's a very famous Tibetan Buddhist mantra. Why is that one chosen here?
The source is quite specific about this. For the purpose of this practice, its meaning is translated or understood essentially as, the entire universe is found in the center of my being.
Wow, okay. That connects all the dots. The center point, dantian, the connecting shape, star, and the mantra all point to the same idea. realizing that vast universal potential exists right within your own core.
Precisely. It links the personal, the individual practice directly to the universal scale. It's about experiencing that connection.
And it doesn't stop there, right? This isn't just an internal meditation. It becomes the active form of namaste you mentioned.
Exactly. Once you cultivate that feeling, that knowing of the universe within yourself, you then extend that practice outward into your interactions with others.
How do you do the soul kernel on someone else? That sounds intense.
Yeah, it's done internally, with intention. When you're interacting with someone, could be anyone, a client, family, whoever, you consciously place your attention in their dantian, their center.
Okay.
And in your own mind, you perform the same visualization for them. You imagine their pulse, you visualize the six-pointed star within their center, and you internally repeat the mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, dedicating it to them.
So you're not just saying, I honor the divine in you anymore. You're actively, energetically inviting the whole universe into the interaction, acknowledging their cosmic essence through this focused mental practice.
You got it. It's like the ultimate spiritual application of the Steelman approach.
Right.
You're seeking to connect with and honor their deepest divine identity before even dealing with whatever's happening on the surface.
That really underlines the ambition of this whole practice.
Yeah.
The source suggests that being a divine human means having the capacity to experience the whole universe. And this systematic practice, the soul kernel, is presented as the mechanism to actually achieve that connection. One person, one interaction at a time.
Yes. And it builds. When we can achieve that kind of connection one-on-one, or even when we're together in groups doing this collectively, that's how we start to experience divine humanship as a species.
It shifts from just personal growth to a collective evolution.
Exactly. It becomes a shared state.
Which brings us to this final, really big concept from the source. The idea of the next avatar. We probably need some context here. What's the usual understanding of an avatar?
Well, traditionally we think of figures like Jesus or Buddha, maybe Krishna. These are described as highly evolved beings born onto Earth.
Like special individuals.
Right, advanced souls whose main purpose was to show humanity, kind of individually, what potential we're all capable of reaching. They were like single, brilliant points of light demonstrating the path.
But the source says the next avatar is different. Radically different.
Completely different. It suggests the next avatar is not a person, not a single enlightened individual coming to save or teach us.
So, what is it then?
It's identified as a collective avatar. The name given is Kalki. And the really profound idea here is that Kalki isn't one person who will come. Kalki is us. It's our entire species realizing its own collective divine humanship.
Wow. So Kalki is the moment humanity itself becomes the avatar. Through this widespread practice of love, of valuing, of seeing the divine in each other.
That's the vision presented. It's the species stepping into its potential as one integrated, conscious whole.
That reframes everything. Every interaction suddenly feels incredibly important. The fate of humanity doesn't hinge on waiting for one special person.
Oh, it hinges on us, on you and me and everyone, mastering these seemingly basic interpersonal skills, valuing, listening, honoring, but applying them with this deep spiritual intent.
So the mundane becomes the mechanism for the ultimate transformation.
Precisely. That systematic practice of valuing your colleague's loyalty, the mental discipline of the steelman listening, the deep spiritual anchoring of the soul kernel practice. These small, concrete actions.
They're not small at all in this context.
Not at all. They are the exact necessary steps required to actually move our species towards becoming this next great collective avatar, Kalki.
Okay, so summing this up, what a journey. We started with a very structured, almost business-like technique for valuing people, something you might learn in a sales seminar.
Derived from experts like John Maxwell, yeah.
And we traced it through internal self-work, specific communication strategies, deep meditative practices involving stars and mantras, all the way to this vision of a collective, species-level awakening, becoming Kalki.
The core takeaway, I think, is just how connected it all is. There's no separation between the most ordinary act of genuinely recognizing someone's worth and the most profound spiritual destiny imaginable.
The mechanics of valuing are the engine for that divine realization.
You don't just wait for the divine to show up. You actively build it. You engineer it through these specific, systematic, loving ways of engaging with every single person you meet.
So here's a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. If the goal is truly seeing the divinity in everyone, how might using those specific systematic steps of valuing, we talked about identifying a trait, adding to it, highlighting it, creating opportunities for it, how might that fundamentally change your very next interaction? maybe not even with a client, but with someone really close to you. What divine human potential are you actively choosing to cultivate right now, today? That's definitely something to carry with you.